Hey there folks, Joey here with just kind of a video. I think I said earlier I would do some more Zorro related videos, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just watched probably what I think is the best Zorro movie, The Mask of Zorro. Where to begin with this movie? I actually watched the sequel first, The Legend of Zorro, and as a kid I liked it. This movie came out 10 years ago, the sequel, not the first film. The first film came out about 17 years ago now. This one's 10 years ago, but, this movie, I think, really is a reminder of how sad it is to watch movies nowadays. At least blockbuster type movies. So basically, I'll just briefly describe the story. It actually makes me... It's a really interesting amalgamation of Zorro stuff. But The Mask of Zorro tells the story of a essentially retired Zorro, played by Anthony Hopkins. And his wife is killed, and his daughter is stolen from him. And he's sent to prison for 20 years. He escapes prison and finds a thief, played by Antonio Banderas, and trains this character into becoming the next Zorro. And this new Zorro also has his own desire for vengeance. So, and then you also have the daughter, who is obviously played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. You have sword fighting, explosions, vengeance, tragedy. It's got everything I want in a movie of this type. So, Zorro stuff. This makes you think of a lot of different Zorros. It makes you think of Don Q, Son of Zorro, because you have the two Zorro idea. It makes you think of Tyrone Power Zorro because of some of Alejandro's costumes later on in the film, when he's pretending to be a different man. Those costumes make me think of Tyrone Power. For some reason, Anthony Hopkins, the way he appears, makes me think of a little bit of Douglas Fairbanks. Like a tinge of Douglas Fairbanks, especially since, Douglas Fairbanks is not Hispanic, and I don't think Hopkins is either. Which is interesting. There's just a lot of things. You have Bernardo, Anthony Hopkins portrays a character, is in disguise as a guy named Bernardo, who is actually Zorro's manservant in the book and many other adaptations, which is interesting. So there's a lot of interesting parallels here and there, and obviously nice little Easter eggs. The film is well acted. Banderas and Zeta-Jones have great chemistry on screen. It's amazing. Anthony Hopkins portrays a great older Zorro later on in his career. Usually we see Zorro in movies towards the beginning of his career, and not towards the end of his career, which is an interesting way to look at Zorro. The movie has great action sequences, a lot of nice sword fighting, choreography. The first action scene in this movie, where Zorro saves 3 men from being executed from the evil Montero, is a great scene. One of my favorite action scenes in any movie. It's awesome. That's a hell of a way to open a movie. And, a lot of it works. It's not ashamed to be an old-style Hollywood swashbuckler film, almost more than the Pirates of the Caribbean's films have. Even the first one, which the first one's, I think, is a good movie, the first Pirates anyway. But this Zorro film is just everything I want in a lot of things I want in a blockbuster. It's not too self-important. Sometimes when you watch, a movie and you're like, oh my god, really? Are they really going on and on and on? This is not an art house movie. This is a freaking entertaining Zorro movie. I want entertainment. But it has great characters still. It's got a good enough story. I mean, there's probably issues here and there, but I don't really care because I'm having a blast. It's maybe a little long at 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it moves along at a decent enough pace to where you barely notice it. And it's one of those cases where the villains are not completely sympathetic. You hate their guts. And I miss that in villains sometimes. Now we have villains that have to justify everything. It's like, can't you just have evil dirtbags anymore? I mean, really? You gotta have them be, oh my god, no, I feel so, whatever, cough, cough, Loki. It bothers me. That's another video. And I guess that's why I made this video, is because The Mask of Zorro, it feels like the last of this great, swashbuckler type film. It feels like an older Hollywood, not quite Errol Flynn, but almost the Errol Flynn like action movie, where it's not completely drowned in CGI or self-importance, and I'm able to have so much fun with this movie that there's jokes where you would never see those in a mainstream blockbuster, and I love it for that. Like, there's a scene where he takes 2 cannonballs and smashes a guy's face, and the guy spits out teeth. It's not completely bloody or like, oh my god, I just did that. No, it's kind of funny. And I guess the closest movie studio that really does this is Marvel. But even then, sometimes Marvel gets a little too self-important in some of its things. Occasionally, not too often, but sometimes it does. And, and the CGI, again, it just crash, boom, bang at the end. Even with the good ones, it's just a tad annoying. And Zorro does have some CGI, but a lot of it, I feel it's real, and I feel the characters are in danger. And it's just a lot of fun. The sequel is It's not as terrible as some people say it is, but it's not particularly great either. So only get it if you really, 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 really want to see Antonio Banderas in another Zorro movie. Also, the movie is written by Orsi and Kurtzman, 2 of the biggest shams in Hollywood. They're terrible. And, yeah, so I guess also an interesting fact, Martin Campbell directed these two Antonio Banderas Zorro movies, and he also directed 2011's Green Lantern. Yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, this disc has also some decent special features. You know how long I've had this disc for? I've had this disc, I think I got this for Christmas 2005, and I still have my free ticket to see The Legend of Zorro. I still have it, guys. Alright, it might not be too late, guys. It only expires March 31st, 2006. I don't even think The Legend of Zorro was even in theaters that long. Good God. I could also get $7.50 off of Spider-Man 2, or Desperado, or Once Upon a Time Mexico. Guys, let's get on this deal right now. Man, I love keeping old crap like that. In any case, Mask of Zorro, I think, is not only a great Zorro movie, but also just a great action adventure type movie. It's just one of my favorite overall movies. It's a lot of fun, guys. I think you should check it out. See you guys later.